Hi, how's it going? So today I'm going to talk about what we used for fourth grade science, more as an update. We're kind of in between mid-year and end of year now. We started homeschool early this year for fourth grade. We started August 1st, and so we're kind of finishing up pretty soon. But first, let me show you guys what I bought for fourth grade, but I ended up not using. Now, this isn't the complete curriculum. This is just some information from Scientific Connections through Inquiry. So this is level 4, and I just printed out like a few lessons in the student book and a little bit of the parent edition, and I ended up not using it, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit. So obviously science, there's many different routes to go, right? There's like literature based, there's kind of doing your own curriculum, there's like following curriculums, there's like laboratory, project heavy sciences, things like that. And that was something that I wasn't ever really drawn to. And I never wanted to like hold my daughter back, but like she kind of does her own, like, if you want to call it like STEM projects in her free time. She builds a lot of stuff with cardboard. We do experiment kits sometimes and things like that. So for homeschool itself, I wanted to try Scientific Connections through Inquiry, and I found out, I didn't know before I bought it, but I found out that it was a lot more like project heavy than I kind of wanted. And that's kind of why I ended up not going with it. And so let me show you guys the level 4. So basically this was also on my computer. So most of the data is on my computer. So like I said, this is just a small little sample. Okay, so it's a 36-week curriculum. And so I went ahead and printed it out. So basically, here is the machines. Okay, it's like machines 1, levers and mechanical advantage, motion, which is, I guess, the second chapter, relationship to second part to temperature, cells, integrating cells and whole body functions, the water cycle, heat and density, expansion and contraction, fungi and bacteria, and then machines, going on to mapping, how a plant grows, motion, the temperature, pressure, volume relationship, and then microscopic organisms 1, their multitude and diversity. Okay, so that was all of the actual like sections of the curriculum. And then it goes on to the schedule, which like I said, they recommend like a 36-week schedule, I believe. Yeah. So that was that. And then they have like in the beginning like a baloney detection kit. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like adapted from Carl Sagan's The Demon Haunted World. Tools to help you separate good arguments from bad arguments. Okay, so that's the baloney detection kit. And yeah, so that was that. And like I said, I just mainly wanted to print out the schedule, and then what I really based a lot of my opinions on was the books they recommended to use, because we're like a book heavy like homeschoolers. So even I should have known that I probably wouldn't be drawn to this, even though, like I said, a lot of people might like it. And so here's a baloney detection kit. I'm not sure if you have to do this for each lesson each time, but I just went ahead and highlighted because I was planning to use it. And that's like baloney detection kit continued. So it's like worksheets, which is like the student part. And then I guess there's probably things you would read. Well, I bought the digital copies. So maybe there would be things that you would read off your computer, I'm assuming. And then I wrote down like some of the books that you would use. And I do like the way things work now. I'm actually thinking of buying this book. But when it came to picking the books for this curriculum, I just wasn't drawn to a lot of the books it suggested. It's not book heavy at all either. And I guess that's kind of what I was looking for. So here is one of the actual activities. So it's like actually cutting this out to make a lever. And like I said, this is incomplete because most of the stuff would be on my computer. But I just wanted to show you guys a brief thing. Same thing. It's like diagram. So it's like find levers around your home and label them. I don't know. It's just really, I don't know, like project. I don't know, we kind of like the podcast Circle Around. We kind of like circle around and like to kind of look through books visually and read orally and kind of talk about it. And then I have her like do her own research in books. We're kind of, those types of learners. And so, like for her, more importantly, not that anything's wrong with this, but I don't know. I'm also not a science person. Like I don't have a science background. So I don't know. It just didn't. These are other books I wrote down. So I did like this Us Born Seed Inside Energy book. I don't remember if they suggested this book or I just wrote it extra, but I'm pretty sure they suggested Eyewitness Energy. But like I said, this is a you can look at samples online. Again, so this is week. Let's see, what's this? That was like each week. So sorry, yeah, this is week 4. I already skipped ahead. So each one of these is like for a separate week. So week 4, you would record your observations, diffusion at different temperatures. Yeah, I don't know. I just decided not to go with it. Here's week 4. It's just very much what typical science would be in like a laboratory setting kind of things, like which kids I think probably do need to know. But I'm just going to trust my daughter, that if she goes on to college and or some reason goes to high school and is not homeschooled, because as of now she wants to be homeschooled through 8th grade and then she wants to reassess, then I'm just going to trust that she'll learn enough laboratory wise in high school and or college. I used to worry about it and think maybe she needs more like hands-on, but I mean, like I said, we do some hands-on stuff, but I kind of am drawn to more. His week 7. So this one's like really, it's like heat energy from the burner. Just like real, like a real experiment. So yeah, if you like stuff like this, you might really like this curriculum. Like I said. So yeah, but I used to give myself a hard time and, think, well, maybe she needs to do more laboratory stuff, but I don't know. She's kind of like me. She's kind of like really likes literature. And she doesn't feel like she's missing out when we do a lot of the kits and stuff. Sometimes I ask her if she wants to do more kits or projects, and she's like, not necessarily. But like I said, I don't know. But that's just a tiny little snapshot, and I don't really have a great reason why we didn't use it, but I just was more drawn towards what I'm about to show you, which is Blossom and Root. So that I didn't use for 4th grade science. Now, moving on to what I did use for 4th grade science as more of an update. The first thing is, I'm sure if you're new to my videos, we're using Blossom and Root. If you're not new to my videos, then this will be more of an update. But, and I am going to do an end of year review also, but that will be, every subject. So this one I hope will be more in depth just for science. Okay. So I was really excited that I found Blossom and Root. And yeah, so Blossom and Root also I bought digitally. I'm not even sure. I think it's all digital, but okay. So I bought it digital, and even though my daughter is in 4th grade, I went ahead and got level 3 because I don't think it really matters. Because she wanted to be an animal wildlife biologist. So I was really looking for like zoology curriculums. That's why I've picked Wonders of the Animal Kingdom. So this is a parent guide, and I really like detailed it for the separate areas, like studying animals all the way through. And I kind of separated it, by the types of animals. But after we started homeschooling, after weeks, this kind of just went out the window. Because like, I don't know. I just was like, well, this was my way of planning like what books to buy. Because as you can see, a lot of the units are mammals. And yeah, so I just kind of wanted to gauge that. And then she says the highly recommended books are DK, Smithsonian Animal. And I'm about to show you guys that one. That was the one we used every single day. So I would say 100% it was the spine. And yeah, and so then the Wondrous Workings of Planet Earth, I have that book too. That's the second book that we're using now at the end of the curriculum. And honestly, we used both of those 2 books in like pretty much every like all the like when it like required it a lot. And we honestly, so it had all these other books like Animalium, Nature Anatomy, Farm Anatomy. I'm gonna link the video of, I think I have 2 videos I'm gonna link. I'm gonna link my 4th grade curriculum video, and then I'm gonna link my other science video that I did at the beginning of the year, possibly maybe how I teach science. And that one, if not the 4th grade video curriculum video, will show every single book I actually purchased for Blossom and Root. I'm not going to show that in this video because the video would just be like, 2 hours if YouTube let me, because I bought so many books. And honestly, I could have pared them down by a lot because, yeah. Now we did use quite a few of them. We mostly use like the specialty ones. Like we mostly use the ones where it was like a reptile one because we didn't have a lot of reptile books in general. We used the reptile one. We used the bird one. But yet, again, we kind of mainly use the DK animal. So yeah, let me just keep moving on. Honestly, we like never used Nature Anatomy and Farm Anatomy. But I already own those books. So it wasn't a big deal to me. I already like had them. But we literally never used them. And this book list is crazy. It's crazy good because it's fun, because if you have any of these books already, or if your library has them, you don't really have to spend a lot of money for this curriculum at all, because it's just a good option that the curriculum is recommending all of these books. And that's why I picked this curriculum, because it's very book heavy. But then on the other hand, we kind of just got in the groove of doing the notebooking, which I'm about to show you guys. And we kind of, like I said, just mainly focused on the 2 books I'm going to show you in a minute. So overall, I would say this curriculum worked really well. I would say also, if I was going to start this over from the beginning, I would maybe go slower and not do we did 2 lessons a week. Let me say that. For science, we usually do science Mondays and Wednesdays. So if I were going to do this curriculum over again, since it's like past mid-year, I would either go a little bit slower and maybe do like 1 lesson a week, because when you do the second part, which I'm about to show you guys, when you do the second part, it mainly focuses on 1 animal per lesson, 1 type of animal per lesson. So if your child is really interested in, say, reptiles, this curriculum, you can pace it however you want. I just chose to do it twice a week. But on the other hand, now my daughter has told me that she does not want to be a wildlife biologist. Part of that was in this curriculum, we did watch a lot of videos. She does provide a lot of links and videos, and in each lesson for YouTube. We started off pretty much, okay, so this is a student notebook, Wonders of the Animal Kingdom. Now, so I didn't bind it or anything. You could do a lot of different things, but this is Animal Kingdom. So this is the main thing that we did. She has a lot of options that you can use with the curriculum. Like she has, let's see. Okay, sorry, I found it, yeah. She has like outdoor learner activities, table, lab, crowd, and then crafts. We didn't do any of those 3. And like I said, I just kind of like to again, this probably would have helped if I would have did science 1 day a week and have taken it slower. Then maybe I would have been drawn more to do this stuff. But we're just not big on crafts in general. Now, my daughter likes to make crafts in her free time. Her whole room looks just like, I don't know, well, a tornado, but it's just like full of just all these really cool little crafts that she made everywhere. So she does do crafts, but when it comes to like curriculum, we're not big on crafts. And I don't know why, but we just aren't. And then table lab, I mentioned to you guys, we're not big on experiments and things like that. And the outdoor learning stuff, we kind of like to do this in our free time. We always go outside and look at bugs and look at like a decomposition of a log or something like that. But we don't really, I don't like combine it I like to kind of just do the homeschool, and then we kind of like to go outside and have like free play. That's just us. But so we didn't do those 3 things. So I can't say anything about that because I would read them in the beginning, and each time I was just like, oh, okay, I think we'll just stick with the books. Like I said, if I would categorize my homeschool style, is pretty much literature based. So we stuck with just the books and doing this. So yeah. So pretty much every lesson, this one, let's see, okay, history of animal life. In the beginning, they have a variety, and then it starts getting more detailed about each animal. I didn't even have her color these. I kind of treated it more like as a field journal type thing, to where if you're in nature, you're just sketching an animal. She just would draw it, with a pencil. And I gave her the option, but she said she didn't really want to color them. And I was like, well, I'll talk about this in a minute. I think at the end, when we finish, I'm going to have her go back, and I'm going to show you one sample of, we're going to probably watercolor some of these on a separate piece of paper. Some of her favorite animals. But yeah, so basically it was kind of like independent learning, because what we would do is when we got to this section, let's see, like mollusk and worms. She picked the tiger worm, which she kind of liked. That was fun. She got to pick the specific type of, animal, creature, whatever that was in each unit. Because it gives you a wide variety when you turn to the book on mollusk and worms. She really liked that. And then we would read the books together, mainly the animal book, like I mentioned. And then she would just go to our regular, shelf and kind of pull books if we had any books that had worms in them, gather information, circle around, gather information, and then she would write, a little paragraph. So yeah, so she really liked that process, and that's pretty much what we did for the curriculum. And I would say that we got a lot out of it, because she did get to learn a lot about each specific animal and group of animals that we wouldn't have otherwise known about. The reason why she decided not to be, she's 10, so of course she could change her mind. I mean, I changed my major when I was in college, but, of course she could change her mind, a million times over before she goes to college. But for now, she said she doesn't want to be a wildlife biologist, because we did watch some videos on some wildlife biologists, and she got to see that they do a lot more hands-on stuff, some of them with animals, than she wanted to do. Like taking samples, like blood samples, and or like putting little tags on them. It's just a little more hands-on than she thought. I don't know what, I guess she kind of thought she'd be more observing them in nature and doing things like that. But you really do have, depending on where you work, there, you really have to, you're gonna get pretty dirty. Like literally, like especially if you work in like a water area, or like swamps, marshes, lakes, rivers, around marshes and waterways and stuff like that, which is kind of like the coast, which we're in Texas, and I'm from Louisiana. And I kind of thought it'd be cool if she would work in like the wetlands. Who knows? She might want to go work in like Alaska or something. But anyway, the point is, she kind of got to learn about a career path, and even though she's 10, like I said, just for fun. And it was a really good way. Oh, and I'm showing this because we're already finished this. So we finished, we're almost finished, because we did it twice a week. So yeah, we're on 35 and we only have 36 left. And then we're going to go on to this, which we didn't start this yet. And I'm going to show this in my end of year review. But this is a wild files, which came with it. And it's exploring ecosystems. So for this, you actually focus on one ecosystem. So that's kind of cool. And so yeah, so we're reading about ecosystems now. Let me move on to the 2 books. Oh yeah, so this is one of her watercolor paintings of a snow leopard. And this is something that she did that I encouraged her to do. And I kind of thought we'd make like a set of these, maybe from each like animal group, I'm thinking. And then we'll keep these. And it's just, yeah. So that was one thing she did based on one of her favorite animals. Oh yeah, and then so for science, at the beginning of our science each day, we do this. So this is Discovery, 500 questions and answers about absolutely everything. This is just something I kind of started where I told her just randomly open a page and read one little thing. Like read one little blurb or question, just to kind of give her a little bit of knowledge. And it actually worked well for buying me time for getting the Blossom and Root stuff set up and out, or if I had to go get my computer because we homeschool in our dining room. So yeah, so it kind of gave me a little bit of time. I think it was fairly successful. I don't know if I'm gonna continue that for 5th grade, like the little fact before, but yeah. Okay, so let me show you the 2 main books that we used. And I will say definitely you need this book if you're gonna buy this curriculum. And if you're just watching, if you're someone who's watching because you like books, this is also just a really great book about animals, DK Smithsonian Animal. And it's just a really nice book. And it has all the categories in the beginning, table of content. Sorry if you can't see the whole thing. And yeah, so it just starts, has some stuff about the animal kingdom and different things. And then it starts just off with the sections of, and it's like, I like how DK does the color sections. This is all yellow, so invertebrates are all yellow. And it worked, you know, the curriculum is probably planned around this book because it just worked perfect. Or vice versa, that's why she recommended it. Of course, it worked really good with the curriculum. So yeah. So yeah, we absolutely use this book every single day. Up until probably the very end. We might not be using it as much, but still, like we used it all through. So that was the main book that we used. And then this is the second main book that we're using now as we get into more of the ecosystems. Also want to say she does have something additional that goes with this curriculum that I don't have printed out, but I just wanted to mention that she also offers these little activities called book seeds. Now we do plan on doing those. I'll probably show those in my last video of the year because we haven't done them yet. But book seeds, I think there's like 4 of them, and I don't know if we're going to do all 4 because we already own some of the books. And book seeds are just like kind of like an activity or activities based on a book that has to do with this curriculum. So yeah, that's kind of fun. And then, so yeah, this is the wondrous workings of planet Earth. So I'm probably just going to link the few things that I showed, and then I'm going to go ahead and link, like I said, the 4th grade curriculum video and my other science videos. But those will have all of the links of every single thing I bought. So this is a table of contents, sorry. It's broken up by continents. And then it's broken up by different things that they have in the end. And so yeah, so we're definitely using this book right now. I really love this book, but I don't absolutely like love it. I don't know. I think I have another book by this author illustrator that I really love. You know, it's called Women in Science, but I do like the maps that they used for each, you know, continent. But I think the way they showed the ecosystem, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it works really well with this curriculum, but if I wasn't using it if I didn't have this curriculum, I probably wouldn't buy it. But that's just me. Someone might like the way it's laid out, but I don't know. Like, I like it, but yeah. Okay, so let me show you guys my favorite book that I included one extra book in this video. So out of all of the books I bought for Blossom and Root, Wonders of the Animal Kingdom, this was my favorite by far. The cover alone is like a work of art, and my daughter read this. I quickly realized as we started this curriculum that there was just no way we were going to get to read all of those books that I bought in our homeschool time. So what I did is on Fridays, she has nonfiction reading time, and I kind of rotated those books in with that time. And she read this book by herself. After we kind of read snippets from it together, she read this whole book by herself during her nonfiction book time. And I really like the focus on how it explains how animals' bones are made certain ways for different things, like holding weight, jumping, gliding in flight, running. If you have a learner that is really interested in veterinary medicine or just animal biology, or just a good homeschool book to have, I think this is a really good book. It's really educational, and it's just beautiful. Like, it's really beautiful. Shows the inside of the bone of the animal with the bones, and just how the bones do what they do, made for the function, of the animal. And it's beautiful. So yeah, she really enjoyed it. Another thing I wanted to show that I bought I was planning on, we were planning on doing this all throughout the year. That didn't happen. What happened was, this just was too much. This is a thinking tree all about endangered species, science and research. Honestly, this could be like a curriculum, I think, for like a year. This book alone could be just like a curriculum. So I bought this at the beginning of the year because they had a very, very small section, I believe, in the beginning of Blossom and Root. I think they had a small section about extinction and or endangered animals. I don't remember. I have to go back and look at it. Regardless, I thought that it fit in. Okay, so it doesn't say specifically endangered animals, but still, I thought it fit in. And this is a table of contents with it has with all the different animals in it that are endangered. And we've had these books before, the Thinking Tree Company. And she did the first one, which was all about sea turtles. We didn't even finish it because we quickly realized we really didn't have any books about endangered animals. We really didn't have a lot of books about each specific animal in here. So I kind of felt like what I'm going to do with this is probably make it like a separate project. If we have enough time before we stop homeschooling, I'm going to have her do this at the end of the year, but I'm not sure because we have the book seeds to do and those little eco files. So I'm not sure if we're going to get to this. I might have her do it over the summer. I do want her to do it. It just did not fit in our homeschool time. It was just too much because you have to do a lot of research for these. I honestly think this could be a curriculum. Like, if you're looking for a curriculum where you literally just do research, and you could do one of these a week where each day you just do a page. So if my daughter still wanted to be a wildlife biologist as of now, I might possibly make a curriculum out of this book, but she really doesn't at this point. Now she's leaning towards architecture and engineering. So civil engineering, she thinks. So, and she's still a little bit interested in paleontology. Still loving dinosaurs. So yeah. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, let me flip that. The last thing I want to talk about is 5th grade science and my overall opinion. Okay, I'm really glad that we did do Blossom and Root for 4th grade. I'm also really glad that I decided not to do scientific connections through inquiry. Not that she wouldn't have learned a lot of things, but because this focus on the specific group of this subject, which was animals, zoology, she really got to explore the world of being a biologist. She really got to do a different animal each week. We watched videos, we read a lot of books about animals and things like that. And, so I'm really glad that we were able to do Blossom and Root, the Wonders of the Animal Kingdom. I think it's a really good curriculum. Now, what I'm not doing though is going with Blossom and Root for 5th grade. I looked at some samples. And I'm not saying that it won't work for 5th grade. Their level. I think it's level 4. I think it's Blossom and Root either level 4 or level 5. The physical world. I'm not sure. But since this one is level 3, I looked at the next one and I just didn't think. So yeah, I'm not sure what level that is on Blossom and Root, the physical world, but I do like a lot of the books that she picked, but the curriculum picked. But I think I'm just going to do something different for science for 5th grade. I think we're just kind of going to do like my own thing for 5th grade. I'm still kind of looking at books right now, but yeah, very much literature based. But like I said, it probably is a really good curriculum, not sure, but I'm just deciding not to go with it for the physical world because, like I said, the style of homeschool that we have, I don't know if it'll work for us. But it did really work for us for the animals. So yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so I think that's it for science. So that's it, you guys. If you're not subscribed, I really appreciate it if you would, if you find my videos valuable or interesting or both. Thanks everyone who subscribes and likes and watches. Have a good day or night. Bye.